Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing my weekly video predictions for The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 12, Clear. Alright, so as usual, going to give my thoughts on what I think is going to happen in the next episode. So far this year, I have been totally and completely off with most of my predictions, unfortunately. So hopefully this one will be a bit better. Now, the previews for it, we have the usual. One promo and two sneak peeks. Out of the three, I'd say probably the promo is the best, although it does include some things that are also in the sneak peeks. So there's not too much overall in the way of, trailer footage, I guess I could say, for it. There's about maybe 2 minutes if you want to count everything all together. The promo itself basically shows what we kind of found out about in last week's episode, which is that Rick says he's going to go for a run. And from some of the previews earlier on before the second half of the season the second half of season 3 started, we saw some things that looked like from pictures and all that Rick was going to go back to his hometown, back to try and find Morgan, which it looks like is the case. Now, a lot of us thought, including myself, that was going to happen a couple episodes ago in Home, and that Home was referring to Rick going back to his original home with Carl. Didn't work out that way, but in this episode, it's pretty clear that that's what's going to happen, is that he's going to go back to his hometown and try to find Morgan. Why? Maybe they're running out of ammunition. Maybe he wants to go back to the police station. He maybe still has the keys and wants to get some more ammo for them, because they will need more ammo if they're going to put up any kind of fight against the governor. Otherwise, he might just be trying to go there to maybe see if he can get Morgan to come with him and help them out. See if maybe Morgan has anyone with him and help join the fight against the governor's group in Woodburn. So that said, we've seen the preview where you have basically Rick, Michonne, and Carl. They're walking into his hometown, and there are like booby traps everywhere for walkers, which is kind of cool. Not something I've seen before, either in the comic books or in the TV series as of yet. Except in the comic books, Negan kind of does have something, I guess, fairly similar outside, and he just leaves walkers like chained up and stuff like that to try and prevent people from wanting to enter into his territory. This is kind of the same thing, but he doesn't. It doesn't seem like Morgan or whoever it is that's there has the walkers chained up or anything, and it's just leaving them there alive. It seems like he's clearing them out. He's got the booby traps, but then if he kills them, he's going to be burning them, which we can see a pile of them in this this preview as well. Now, the one guy on top of the rooftop with the, what is it, like a motorcycle type helmet, and the gun who kind of yells at them, tells them to put their hands up, or says hands. In the previews, it's kind of, well, at least there's some shots that do make it look like, in fact, that it is Morgan. So it probably is, but I don't want to spoil things and say for sure. So it could be, it might not be. Maybe it's a member of his group or whatever. But we do know from the previews that Rick does at least shoot at him, and it seems like that person on the roof does shoot back. So whether or not that is Morgan or not, they don't recognize each other at first, it seems like, and they're going to be firing back and forth at one another, at least a little bit, until maybe they realize, if that is in fact Morgan, maybe Rick realizes that it's him, or he realizes that that's Rick. Even though he does look a lot different now because he's got longer hair, and he's Carl's grown up, although Morgan wouldn't have known Carl. But I mean, he's with Michonne, so Morgan might not put two and two together. If that is him, he might not realize it, because obviously he's been on his own all this time. And like they also allude to here, Rick asks her if she thinks he's crazy, and she says no, she thinks he's dangerous, which it looks like he really is, just from the setup and everything, and the amount of just the pile of walkers that he's burned. But it definitely is going to be cool to see a different landscape, to see, I think it's actually shot in the same place they shoot Woodbury, I think, but it's not obvious that it is, at least not completely obvious that it's shot in Sonoa. Even though it does look very similar to it. Either way, though, we'll let that slide, because at least we're getting to see the characters into another area. and you know, they won't be centered at the prison or at Woodbury. We'll get to see them go off and kind of on their own little adventure. So it should be a really, really exciting episode. Something totally kind of different. It's strange that they're doing it at this point because it does feel like a weird time in the series for Rick and Michonne and Carl to just kind of leave and just, you know, go off on their own and then come back when, you know, like, you got all this stuff going on. They're worried about the governor attacking, and he's just going to leave. However, if they're short on ammunition, which Herschel has said, I believe in the past couple episodes, he said that, was it last episode that he said that they were basically too short on ammunition to clear out the field, that they want to save their bullets. So maybe Rick's like, okay, well, you know, there's more guns. I didn't take them all back at the police station in my hometown. I know where they are. I have the keys. They're locked up. I can go get us some more ammo and weapons and all that kind of stuff. Maybe different, you know, flak jackets and just equipment overall to use that they could use. Now that would make sense for why he would just flat out leave like that and go just randomly. Although he has been acting crazy lately, but it's a weird time for him to leave. So the ammo excuse, if that's where they're going with this and that's what they end up doing, it makes perfect sense. That I could see. Or maybe something else I'm not thinking of. But definitely they were running low on ammo, so it would make sense that he would want to go back there to get some if he left some. Because I don't think he took all the guns originally in Season 1. Like, he didn't take all of them. He left a lot of them there because there's so many at the police station, obviously. So that's that. Should be pretty exciting. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so in the first sneak peek, you have Rick, Michonne's driving, and Carl's there. And you have just like some random survivor guy who comes running out and comes running after the car. Now, I will say that one of the weird things about Season 3 is the amount of people that are like survivors, like the amount of survivors out there, the amount of survivors there are. In Season 2, I didn't really get the feeling that there would be that many people that would be able to survive in this kind of environment in a zombie apocalypse. It just seems like every episode the characters are running into other survivors just out and about, just randomly, you know, around. Like there was the one episode where before the season finale, I think one episode before it, where they're going to Woodbury and there's just like some guy randomly in like a small little cottage type house type thing, and they go in and it seems like based on what he was saying, he had no idea about what was going on or anything, saying he's going to call the police or whatever. It was funny, but at the same time, it's like a year later after the zombie apocalypse is, you know, I don't care how far out in the boonies you live or whatever, you're going to know at this point what's going on. You know, I don't care if you're an outdoorsman and you just live in the forest somewhere. That character would have, it doesn't seem in character for him to react that way to seeing them and saying those things. I mean, maybe you could say he was just panicked or whatever, but it just doesn't really make sense that there are all these survivors just randomly out there all over the place by themselves, just walking around, not in groups that we've never seen, and that it just seems like there's too many of them. I mean, granted, I think that there would be quite a bit. And in the comic book series, it does kind of seem like there are a lot of survivors out and about. But it just feels like to me, this season in particular, versus Season 2 and kind of even Season 1, that there are more survivors than I think makes sense. There's more people out and about and around than I would think would be logical in the circumstances, if you get what I'm saying. Now, I can give it a pass that there would be Woodbury and maybe Tyrese's group and all this, but just them going out and just constantly seeing random survivors just all over the place. I don't know if there'd be that many at this point. A year later, I don't know. I mean, I kind of think there wouldn't be that many out and about and around. I mean, some, but I just feel like they've put a little bit too many random characters, random survivors just out there in the out and around, that there wouldn't really be that many. Just overall, I don't think there would be. So anyway, and it looks like a good episode. The other sneak peek is really them just getting stuck in the mud in the car and the walkers coming up to the windshield and surrounding them. So that looks pretty exciting too. Strange that Michonne's driving and not Rick, but granted he is losing his mind, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm expecting it to be a pretty damn good episode and a nice little change from what we've been seeing recently with the whole Woodbury concentration on what's happening with them, and then the prison, to get to see the characters go off in another direction and have Morgan come back or whoever that is. looks like it's going to be pretty exciting, different atmosphere, different environment, so it should be really good. It's probably going to have a lot of great shots of like, you know, zombie apocalypse type territory with everything just ruined down and everything. So it looks like it should be pretty good. Probably expanded the budget a bit, but should be pretty damn good. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about the episode coming up. Should be a good one. That's really all I gotta say. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. Saying peace.